for activism or you're against it. Everyone has their opinion, and opinions can be like buttholes. Everyone has them, and they all stink. However, this case is absolutely unacceptable. I can't wait for people to get in here. I cannot wait. DMA, along with 15 other activists, Regan Benson, AQI Audits, Aurora Transparency, the whole bunch of folks went to the Sheridan City Hall in Sheridan, Colorado. All right. And they went in there previously to do records requests, that type of stuff. And the butthurt city manager decided to make a policy. He wrote a policy on a wall. And then he made a city ordinance saying that you can't film behind the glass in a city hall. You're not allowed to do that. So DMA and the rest of the folks that were there, being brave Americans, decided that they weren't going to stand for that shit. It wasn't going to happen. They didn't care. They did a mass audit, 15 people, and they all showed up, and they went in with business to conduct. They went in to conduct records requests. They had all the papers that they needed, and they went inside. The police showed up immediately and arrested CMAC. I'm not sure who CMAC is. They arrested CMAC because he took his phone and he shined it in the window. I got to tell you, the plain view doctrine is not just in existence for vehicles. A city hall is not a limited public forum. And what they tried to do is they tried to criminalize a constitution-protected activity by trying to say that certain places are not public. For example, filming into the window of one of the offices in the town hall. There you go, Ellie. So that's bogus. You're absolutely allowed to film anything you can see. A town hall is not a limited public forum. The case law that does exist to argue on behalf of limited public forum is places like libraries, but not even full libraries, just parts where they can do charity or hold private events. There's absolutely no expectation of privacy in public. So the entire police force in Sheridan, showed up to arrest these guys. Unacceptable. Now, I'm out right now. I don't have StreamYards. I'm in California. But I'm going to show you a little tiny bit of this video so you can take a peek on it yourself. All right, let me fast forward just a second, guys. If you didn't know, everyone was arrested. Hold on one second. I'm going to show you up to the point where all the cops came. Oh, here we go, guys. I want to show you when they're all walking up the stairs. Gang stalked is what this is, guys. Hold on, let me put this on Do Not Disturb. Because I don't want anyone's private message. Because everyone's messaging me now to let me know what's going on. Like, I don't already know. Do Not Disturb. I don't want their messages going across the screen. All right, let me show you what happened here, guys, if you haven't seen. Flip the camera around.
The whole department out here for us, guys.
Look at that, guys. Oh, let's switch that around.
The entire police department here.
The entire police department showed up to arrest these guys.
The entire police department is here for free Americans. They got their gloves on. Looks like there's going to be some arrests, guys.
Look at that, guys.
Hold the button on videotaping in there, but you can't do that. There's people that have in here. You better have ADA.
All right, we're getting arrested, guys. Oh, let me put this down. Because I don't want it to get, I don't have to fall. So we're under arrest, guys. We're under arrest.
Going hands-on, being extra rough. Why not?
What's up, Mom?
Saying arrest them all. They dared to come into a police department. I'll tell you one thing. There's no qualified immunity
We're all under arrest, guys.
in Colorado. So DMA has got his tripod out.
I'm trying to squeezing my hands.
Fuck out of here.
Look at them, got their arms wrenched out, dragging them out of the building. Dragging them out of the building. Couldn't be more peaceful. Look at that, got his arm wrenched up behind his head, dragging him out of the building. And look how many cops showed up. Look at these brave police officers. These guys are so brave. Let's look at how many cops it takes to mess with Americans. Look at that. The entire police department, not
guys?
defending the Constitution,
Entire police department's
defending a
here.
fucking
3
policy on a
Americans.
wall.
Yeah, gloves on. Looks like there's gonna be some arrests, guys.
So let me be perfectly clear, and let me explain to you why these guys are so brave and why they're fucking heroes. Because every single one of them knew that an arrest could be inbound. When you go out and you do what we do, you never just walk out the door and say, everything's gonna, Steve, thank you so much, but please don't send any super chats or cash apps to me. Regan, Ellie, Heather Holtz in chat, anything you guys want to send, please feel free to send their way. But they knew that this was going down. And when you leave the house, you know that you could just get arrested anyways. However, these guys knew that there was 99% chance, cloudy with a chance of meatballs and a bunch of fuck knuckles thrown on handcuffs for conducting a constitutionally protected activity. Forget the Plainview Doctrine. I gotta tell you, Long Island Audits just went to Danbury Town Hall and they arrested him for filming inside the office. And now the police are in real hot water over that. And the case has upheld, the Danbury Superior Court has upheld that the arrest was illegal because the Plainview Doctrine protects you, Glick v. Kniff. There's so much case law that protects you to film in a public forum, and there's no argument anywhere in existence till this date that a city hall is in any way a limited public forum. It is absolutely not. So we went back to the Danbury City Hall, and we started filming behind the glass as well. And they hired a brand new, he used to be the assistant chief of police. They hired this security guard. He's in charge of everything, keeping people out. He told us we couldn't film behind the buildings. We couldn't film behind the wall. He gave us all these rules. We wind up doing it anyways, and we took him with us. And then he agreed, yes, just because we put a policy up on a wall. And forget it. I didn't even know that it was an ordinance, but it really doesn't fucking matter. Because any law that abridges the Constitution is unconstitutional in its concept anyways. You can't say, on Tuesday, there's no freedom of the press. That's a city ordinance for Sheridan fuckknuckle. It doesn't matter. It abridges the Constitution. You can't do it anyways. So listen, guys, if all y'all are here, really appreciate you being here. If you could hit the like button while you are here, make sure you get out to Denver Metro Audits, Regan Benson, AQI Audits, Aurora Transparency, CMAC, any of the... And just so you know, True Patriot, the Plainview Doctrine does apply to citizens. That's been ruled and upheld in case law. Most recently in 2019, with the same Plainview Doctrine that protects you and allows them to look in your vehicle. And they've even decided that it's not just vehicles. It can be windows, it could be curtilage on a house, etc., etc. If you can see it, then it's legal. And I've went through that with myself as well, with police, especially here in Pittsburgh, California, where the police tried to say that it was illegal to film in his vehicle. And the Plainview Doctrine protected me from arrest, the same as it protects them. And Jackson's saying, you know, you're wrong, City Hall is a limited public forum. It's absolutely not. There can be limited public forums within the City Hall, i.e. locked doors, authorized access points, stuff like that. But when you look at the ruling, and I'll tell you one thing, even the National Library Administration has ruled that a library is not a limited public forum. Even the National Library Administration has ruled that that's the case. And they ruled that because, you know, for example, if they're doing like a charity event within a public building, that is considered a limited public forum. But the building itself is not a limited public forum. I'd stake my job on that. I'll tell you one thing, I do this all over the country. So this is the Sheridan Police Department, guys. We have 435 people in here. Really appreciate it. Some folks are posting the Cash App, and here's hold on one sec, guys. If you haven't, everyone please subscribe to Regan Benson DMA and make sure you support these guys. I guess everything's all set up. If you want to send any financial contributions, I know that they'd appreciate it. You know, it's helpful. Like, these guys went out knowing that this was going to happen, and it's important that you guys support them. Excuse me, because they're supporting your rights. So make sure you subscribe to DMA, AQI Audits, Regan Benson. And remember, guys, this is the Sheridan Police Department in Sheridan, Colorado. Please keep in mind that I know the First Amendment doesn't apply in Sheridan, Colorado. It's not fucking there. So, I mean, normally I'd say feel free to redress your grievances or peaceably protest, all components of the First Amendment. However, the Sheridan police seem to agree that the First Amendment doesn't apply at all. So I guess you can't redress your grievances, you can't peaceably protest, you don't have the right to practice religion. It just doesn't really matter. Sheridan is a constitution-free zone, and it's governed by the Fourth Reich, is what it feels like to me. Governed by the Fourth Reich. Jerry Steele, welcome. So guys, listen, if you want to call, I'm saying don't call. Do not call. I never want you guys to call any of these public places because they're brave. They're brave heroes. And I bear back the blue balls all the time to the shaft, and I cradle it mostly. Don't ever call. I love them. You leave them alone. I can't go to your houses and force you to not call, but I'm asking you, please don't call. Don't do it.
Don't be naughty.
Just bear back the blue. I'll tell you one thing. The Fraternal Order of Scalzo, thank you so much. Please, guys, don't send me any super chats. I really appreciate it. Possible correction, Scalzo says, even if a city hall is a limited public forum, only loud protests are restricted, not the entire First Amendment. Cameras are quiet. Excellent point. Mike Bowman, $20, thank you. Anything that you guys have sent in, I'm just going to send it over to their Cash App. I had them send that to me beforehand. The Fraternal Order of Police called me just the other day, and they said, excuse me, sir, we're seeking donations. And I said, oh, I'd be willing to donate. I recorded this. I said, I'd be willing to donate. And he said, oh, sir, that's great. Thank you. And I said, yes, I'd like to donate 1,000 condoms to the Fraternal Order of Police so all your cops can go fuck themselves and each other. This has been brought to you in part by Accountability for All. So go subscribe to these guys. Make sure you show them some love. Hit the like button on the way out. Really appreciate it. And make sure you guys share these videos. Not just one. DMA's got a big channel. Go on whatever social media. What's up, Jeremy Shaw? Go on whatever social media platforms you guys have. Anthony M, what's up? In the 702. And share all the videos out, whether it be on Stitch, Rumble, YouTube, Backpage. Ooh. I said Backpage. Gotta cancel that account. Phone. Yeah, whatever accounts
I gotta cancel my OnlyFans.
You got an OnlyFans?
I don't answer questions.
Y'all subscribe to the OnlyFans. Keep in mind, guys, in Colorado, there is no qualified immunity. And keep in mind, qualified immunity really doesn't fucking matter if they have it or not, because the courts 99% of the times are not going to attach you to their pension because they're pro-cops. The courts are bootlickers. They're bad fucking people. So not having qualified immunity is the same as the police having qualified immunity, because it's at the court's discretion to determine if they violated your rights. Qualified immunity is just a pretty veiled word that makes liberal states feel better about themselves. And by getting rid of qualified immunity in Colorado, they made a certain part of the populace feel like the government was actually doing something. Qualified immunity makes no fucking difference one way or the other. Whether places have it or they don't, it's a non sequitur. So, if there's anyone out there, by the way, Rockport Rights Enthusiast, if there's anyone out there that can get up to Sheridan and help support these guys, keep in mind, this is the type of shit that sets dangerous precedent. Very dangerous precedent. You have a city pass an ordinance that says it's illegal to film in a public place. And if you do, you'll be arrested. You can't let that slide, because if one place does it and that's allowed to move forward, then all the other town halls are going to start getting on top of that. All the other public forums, police stations, libraries, what have you, excuse me, they're all going to jump on board. And then there's going to start to be precedents in case law that restrict your rights. Don't fucking forget, when you walk down the street, you don't have to show your fucking papers. You live in America.
But what happened today is history.
And that's what's important, because either way, this is historical. Because they're going to beat the case, because And here's what's going to happen. The prosecutors are not going to like this. This is going to be a can of worms that they don't really want to fucking touch. And it was done beautifully and succinctly, publicly. It was great. So the prosecutor has to make a decision here, because if he finds, no, the police can just charge them, right? And then when it gets to the prosecutor can decide to null prosecute the case, which means they have decided that in the best interest of justice, with a lack of probable cause and reasonable articulable suspicion, that they don't believe in their legal estimation that charges were founded, and they can drop the case. Or they can make a very dangerous decision legally and move forward. But then the DA is deciding what is and is not public venue. The DA is now attaching himself to his interpretation of what the Constitution means. And that's not a DA's job. That's a whole nother separate shithole's job. That's a Supreme Court's job. So guys, stay tuned. We're going to be posting all sorts of updates. And remember to thank your activists. When we get up in the morning, we don't know what's going to happen. We'll see you on the next one. That's the reason I stopped you today.
Okay. Josh was